Welcome to NET Vaper Reviews. Today's review is a mouse-to-long RTA that I was a bit skeptical at first when I heard that this tank, the OXVA Arbiter Solo mouse-to-long / restricted direct long, and here it is. When I first heard about this unique airflow top to bottom 3D that can be used as a mouse to long and a restricted direct to long in the same tank, I was a bit skeptical. So normally either it's a mouse to long or direct to long. To get them both in the same tank perfectly is very hard to get it right, and here they've done it perfect. I mean, perfect. Now, normally my reviews are 3 sections. You got the close-up, the first section, and then the last section. That's the way it goes. My close-up comes first. This tank I've been using for quite a while now, and I didn't have the time to record my build and wake and explain till today. So I'll put you through now to the close-up I've done just a bit earlier, and then we can talk about this tank, my experience with it, vaping it for quite a few days now, and I must say that I'm very impressed. The way I was talking to the guys, I said this is like the Trio, but simplicity. It's the same airflow configuration, but with a twist of a top cap, ring, whatever you call this, a bit of playing around with your O-ring, with the external airflow. They've got a single or multi, and you can get a very nice restricted direct long. Let me just do it for you. So you twist it to restricted direct. You can see on top it says, you'll see it in the close-up, and watch this. 1 minute. Let me get the airflow right. It wasn't turned all the way, so you have to turn this all the way to restricted direct long. It's a bit small writing, hard for me to see. Naturally extracted tobacco on 18 watts, a 0.75 ohm coil, direct to long. And you're not losing the flavor because the wattage is mouse to long, the coil is mouse to long. Perfect. Now I want to turn it back to mouse to long. I just twist this all the way till it doesn't go further. You know it's mouse to long. Close the airflow down to 2 or 3. I like it on 3. Yeah. Or you can use the other side. You'll see it in the close-up. Perfect mouse to long, and the flavor is very good indeed from the liquid I've got in here. It's the Drake's. We'll talk about all this after the close-up, so let's go to the close-up, see what's all about, and then we'll finish off this review with my experience of this tank. So let's have a look at the OXVA Arbiter Solo RTA that can be configured mouse to long, restrict direct long by a twist of this ring on top underneath the mouthpiece. Yeah, dual airflow control system, leak proof. Here you got the scratch and check, and here you've got to explain a bit about this feature. There's a leak-proof RTA that features a unique dual airflow control system with airflow coming from top to bottom and side. Just turn the top ring to switch between MTL to RDL, turn left to close the side airflow, and you would get a perfect mouse to long. Turn right and you would get a restricted direct long RTA. So this comes with a straight glass, 1 extra straight glass, no tube, no bubble glass, because the 2 is 2 mil, the straight glass is 2 mil, and the bubble glass is 4 mil. You don't get this in the package that you order. You need to order that separate. Yeah, I was also a bit surprised about that. That you don't get the bubble glass with it. So let's have a look at the tank itself. So the manual features leak. You can freeze the screen if you want. We'll talk about it anyway. On top, leak-proof, independent mouth-to-lung RDL airflow system. Top to bottom mouth-to-lung airflow, top to bottom plus sides 3D RDL airflow. We'll check that out in a minute. And here you got the packaging as well. So you get a coil. I've been using that coil. Here we go. The TPD version is assembled with straight glass, so you need to order a bubble glass separate. Yeah. And here you got it as a blowout. I think I'm going to put one on the review as well. As you can see it clearly how it's all in a blowout. Okay, specifications 25mm by 49.5. But with the straight glass it's a 24 and the bubble is 20. Where the glass is, the base is 25, but with the glass is 24, the bubble is 28. 2mm, 4mm stainless steel, and you get a coil 0.8 fuse Clapton NI80. Yeah, okay, so let's go straight to undoing this box. So you get a another mouthpiece for restricted direct long, so we'll leave that out so we can see the differences. You get 2 screws, loads of O-rings and Allen key, and cotton and a coil. Now this is the coil you get, but I already took it out. It's in the deck actually. 6 wrap, 0.8, 2.5mm in the diameter. So this is the extra glass you're getting. So it's a 2mm straight glass. If as mouth to long is no problem, but if you want it as a restricted direct to long, you need to order the bubble glass. I thought they will put in the bubble glass here as well. So here's the mouth to long RTA. Now this is the trio, but all the cleverness is within. It's actually quite innovation. So let's start from the top. The mouthpiece is very comfortable. Now you can see from here it says mouth to long, restricted direct long. So by twisting this top ring, you are basically enabling the 3D openings on the deck airflow from restricted direct long to mouth to long. Plus you've got a whole set of from 0.8 the smallest to the 1.8 the biggest. And then you can even dial this further by using the singular, singular holes. Again, from the smallest to the biggest. So you've got 1, 2, and on the deck, we'll see in a minute. So this is quite innovative. So let's have a look at the mouthpiece. The mouthpiece, this is the mouth to long, and this is the direct to long. Now an O-ring fell out here from where? Well, I suppose it came out with the bag, because I don't think is any O-rings missing here. So let's put this over, you shouldn't lose it. So yeah, so you got the difference between mouth to long and restricted direct long. We're going to use it obviously as mouth to long, just to show you. Now to open up for your juice is very simple. A few twists and then you pull. The reason why you pull is because this basically is turning your airflow on the deck in the chimney, this part. So if you notice, this is not perfect round. This is, you see there's like little lips here, and those match this. This is also not perfect. It's like a bit of an Allen key type of, you know what I'm saying? So when it clicks in and then you twist and then it's shut. So it's very easy to open, but it's in a different mechanism. You have to sort of push in first, yeah, and then pull out. So it's like you find where it clicks in and you turn. to enable you to use this feature. Okay, so now let's open up the deck. Now, I cleaned it already perfectly, so we'll have a look in a minute. So now you can see the chimney is, you got like an inner chimney within the chimney, and you can see in the chimney you've got these various, these are the two holes, and you got bigger ones for the direct along. So when you twist this, it turns round and it blocks or unblocks your airflow on the deck that we'll see in a minute, and this glass comes out fairly easy. So this is, you'll hear rattling, but when you secure everything, everything is properly secured. This doesn't come out because it's held over here. Yeah, very clever idea. I mean, I must say, it's not very heavily branded. This is engraved, very nice. This is also okay, this is not too pronounced, whatever. So let's put this aside, and here's your juice to put in your juice. So it's quite big ones. Now let's have a look at the star of the show, is the deck. Now I've got a coil in here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out, so like this I can put it back in and show you how easy it is. So I'll put that aside. Now if you notice, there is an air hole through here. This is, I think, 3 millimeter. The center is 1.5 millimeter, I think. And then you've got another one in a sort of, you can see, so it's a 3D type of action. So these two are for the restricted direct long. Now this is for the mouse to long. So when the air comes in through here, goes underneath, you can see a bit my coiling tool where the hole is, and this goes right below the coil. So you can get a very good mouth to long and a very good restricted direct long in one tank, configured by the twist of the top cap. I mean, this is very clever indeed. I was very impressed with this. Your wick is going down, these juice wells are quite long down, it's quite deep, touching the deck, and there they absorb the liquid. Yeah, so this is, I like this. That's why I bought this tank, because it was intriguing to me how they worked out this system. So to put in your coil is very easy. I think it'll be easier for me without the tool. I already cut the leads, so let me try and get it in. That's it. I'll just get this in, so like this I'll hold it in place, and we'll just secure it. I'll just get the leg in right. So this is the coil they supplied, a 0.8 fuse Clapton, and I already cut the leads. I've been using this now for a while, but you can see if you put in a new coil, the legs will just be sticking out, and it'll be a lot easier for you to do. Now you want the coil to be just above the airflow hole and not above the surface of the deck, because that might touch the chimney. It's quite condensed, so you don't want to risk that. So you lower it with your finger, because you can't lower it with your coiling tool, but I think this should be just perfect. I mean, you can see the gap. Let me just cut a bit of the lead here, and is there anything sticking out from here? No. Okay, so I just want to make sure I secure this properly. And we'll give this a dry fire. I don't really need to dry fire it because I've been using it, but since I washed it, I just want to vaporize all the liquid. Now, last time it came up as a 0.77. Yeah, exactly the same. It's a 0.8. Have I showed you the coil? Yeah, this is it. This is what they supplied you with. Okay, so let's put in fresh wick. This might be a bit too thick. We'll see in a minute. Let me get a tweezer. That's it. No, perfect. Okay, now you want to cut your wick touching the black O-ring because it has to go fairly long distance down. So I would say around here. Let's have a look, make sure. Yeah, something like that. I always give it a bit of a squeeze, so like this I get a dent and I know where to cut the wick. That's it. Maybe I'll just get this a bit more. And let's fluff this up. And just fold them in. Now when you fold them in, you'll see that it goes further down towards the deck. So my style is that it should touch the surface where the liquid is and absorb it, because the wick has to touch liquid. If you cut it a bit shorter, it wouldn't wick as well. It's better that it touches the surface. That is my way of doing it. And always have a bit of room so that you know it's not overly stuffed. And the second wick as well. That's it, gone down. Always lead it gently down. Okay, that's done. So this now we'll prime it. So what I'm using now as liquid is Caesar's Cherry from Drake's Tobacco Fusion. This is a very delicious naturally extracted tobacco with a naturally extracted cherry. It's got a unique flavor to it. It's not an all-day vape for me. I do like vaping it with a nice fruity beer. So now we've got gorgeous days. So I sit in the garden with this liquid with a nice chilled beer. Superb. It's like a good coffee with a cigar. This goes well with a beer. Okay. Not too much. And now to put your deck back, you need to sort of get like a click that the deck has found his I think I'll take this off actually. It'll be easier for me to explain. When you undo your deck, when you put back your deck, it sort of clicks in. Let me just take this out. 1 minute. That's it. So it sort of clicks in because you see it's all all these inserts, it has to find its place. So what you do is you turn it, and eventually you feel like it's clicked in, and then that's it, see? So, and then you start turning, and then you secure the deck. So it's sort of push in, find its bearings, and then sort of, it's like playing around with it 2 seconds. It's because of all those cutouts, so the deck is designed according to the chimney cutouts. Right, so let's fill up the tank now. This holds 2 mil. Those of you who buy this tank for restricted direct long, you need to get the 4 mil. Because restricted direct long on 2 mil is really not enough. You need to get the 4 mil, but you don't get it in the package. Now I'm a bit disappointed with that, but what could you do? And now we'll just put the top cap. So again, the top cap also has got like a you find your bearings, that clicks in, and then you twist. It's very easy. And where's the mouthpiece? Here we go. So this tank is done. Now I'm going to put it on a mod for now on the Vaporesso. .75. I've got it at 18 watts. Let me just give this a quick wipe. Now the airflow actually works perfect. I'll show you what I mean. So if I, for instance, put it now on mouth to long, so you can see here is mouth to long chosen. I'll put it on, I like it on number 3, so it's on 1.2, and if I use, okay, let me take a vape from this now. Delicious flavor. So if I lower this down to 2 holes and it's mouth to long on the top, yeah, it is a very tight mouth to long. And if I lower this further to number 1, it's too tight to vape. Too tight a vape. So now if I use this section and I go down to the 0.8, the minimum, very tight, very tight. Now if I move this to direct along while it's still on the minimum, you wouldn't tell much of a difference. But as soon as I open this fully, yeah, now it's a proper restricted direct along. So this actually works. Now if I would have moved it to mouth to long while all this is open, it'll still be too airy. But then I can configure this down to where I like it, proper mouth to long. Yeah. So this is a tank that has got mouth to long and restrict direct long within one setting without being complicated. You understand? It's the simplicity and the complexity of it is what attracted me to this tank. Okay, so what we're going to do is now, since I've been using this quite a while, we'll go straight on top and we'll talk about it further. So I'll see you in just 1 second. Right, so now you've seen in the close-up how this 3D airflow works and all the options you've got on the top ring. Now, when I said in the beginning that it reminds me of the Trio, this is so complicated. You've got the bottom airflow, the middle ring airflow, the top airflow. So if you want to get a direct along or restricted direct along, you have to open them all, and when you turn this turns with it. This is so much simpler. Twist, like it reminds you a bit of the Anakin, you know, the pods, the airflow where you twist where the coil is on the base. I mean, this is so simple. Mouse along, restricted direct along. The only thing is the icons, it's a bit faint to see. If you get in black, I assume you'll see it better, because then it will be highlighted in white, so it'll be like a background contrast. But on stainless steel, I like the stainless steel though, but it's not so noticeable, the mouse along and restricted direct along. You can see it, but now I'm now keeping this on mouse to long on the third opening here, or if I want, I can choose the singular ones, the 1.2 millimeter. It's the third. Perfect. If I go down to the 1, it's even better. Perfect mouse along. If I put it down to the 0.8, very tight. Now, if I want to change this back, now let's say if I am, I've been on a journey and I couldn't vape for, let's say, 2-3 hours. I want to have a lung full of naturally extracted tobacco, but a direct along, restricted direct along, but in a mouse to long setting. I simply open the whole lot, turn that to direct along. Yeah, there's an arrow, and bit noisier, but smooth, full of flavor. Delicious. In here I've got the Drake's Caesar Cherry. This is not to everyone's palate. This is a fairly strong tobacco. You can see my review. If you haven't seen the link already in the close-up when I edit this review, I'll put either a link now or a link before. But anyway, I reviewed this. It's not everyone's palate. I like this very much with a chilled, fruity drink. So for instance, here I've got a blueberry drink. Ice cold. Not long ago was floating ice in here. It's very warm today. And yeah. Actually, I'll have a vape while I'm drinking one. It goes very well together. Every liquid has got his mate, you know. Cigar, smoky blends go with a coffee. This goes with a whiskey, and this goes with a fruity drink. Yeah, so let's go back to this tank. I mean, I am very surprised, pleasantly surprised that they managed to crack this one. A mouse to long and restricted direct to long in one tank. By a simple, look how fast it takes. It was the restricted direct to long, now mouse to long, boom. Mouse to long. And not just a mouse to long, perfect mouse to long. Fairly silent. I mean, it's very silent. Let's see if it's silent as the bishop. Nearly. I mean, my Pioneer is noisier. Now I've got over here the Anakin Eris version 2. It's a very similar quality of vape, these two. These are very easy, simple to build. You've seen how easy it is. I put in the same coil that I've used already for now over a week, or not quite a week, quite a few days. And even with the legs being so short, it just squeeze them in, you just slide them in, very easy. If the coil had longer legs, it would have been easier. The mouthpiece are very similar mouthpieces, a perfect mouth to long. Inniken are known for the mouth to long tanks. The quality of build is very similar to the Inniken, solid, last you for long, and also it looks a lot like the intake from OXVA. Yeah, I reviewed this one as well. The intake from OXVA, very nice, solid tank. Look how similar they look. Okay, here you got knurlings, but it's this very similar, chubby-ish type of tank. I've got it here as well. I brought up with me the Siren version 3. Now the Siren version 3 is a bottom airflow, as you can see, but it's the same sturdiness, the same solid feel, you know. This mouthpiece is from the, oh, what was it called, that tank again? Artemis, yeah. It's all like solid tanks. But what makes this stand out is the restricted direct to long, mouth to long in one take. Say I want to taste this liquid a bit, you know, not better, but more condensed, more vapor. Twist at the top, open the airflow. So if you like fruit and dessert liquids, let's say, on a direct to long setting, choose this. You want to turn it down to a mouth to long, just twist, close, and that's it. Now, mouth to long and direct to long, you get sometimes difference in flavor, because mouth to long is sort of a more lower wattage, more condensed the air under the coil. Direct to long is higher wattage, but in this case, it's the same wattage, the same coil, so I can still vape tobaccos on restricted direct to long. So I wouldn't get much increase in flavor. It's just going to be more of it. You understand? So the flavor wouldn't make much of a difference, but you get a lot more of the flavor in one inhale. Every time I do a review, there is a delivery. Well, I ain't going to see to it now. Sorry. I just can't be bothered. I better guess it. I'm very, very sorry. Okay, give me just 1 second. I'm so sorry about this. Every single time this happens, I can never do a review without someone ringing the bell. And it's a lunch break, so the guys go out to have lunch, and I do my reviews while they're doing that. Or they're busy with something else, I assume. Perfect tank. In regards of this mouth to long, restricted direct to long, is just superb. It's just superb, and the flavor is very good flavor indeed, very similar to the Inniken Eris, and very similar to the intake from OXVA. It's that type of flavor, very good flavor, rich condensed flavor. Yeah, no complaints here at all. Very, very happy with the flavor. The airflow is smooth, innovative. First time I'm trying out a tank that can get a perfect restricted direct to long and mouth to long in the same tank, with so easy to change. The trio can be achieved the same way in a way. I think it's a bit more restrictive direct to long. But it's so much more complicated. So much more complicated. It's also very good flavor, but the simplicity of and the genius of the work here on the deck, how it works with the 3D you see in the close-up, how when you twist this, it turns the chimney inside to block and open is outstanding. Yeah, very, very nice indeed. I'm very pleased with this tank and I fully recommend it. This is also reasonably priced, under £30. The build quality would last you for years on end. This is a solid tank. Yeah, perfect to vape on a whole day, all day, every day. Very nice tank. I'm going to put below, I'll put the unique airflow features because I read it through and it's quite interesting to read. So I'm going to put it below as well. So like this, I'll have the unique airflow features and the specifications. Now, let me show you a photo of, I've got here a photo of the, let me just find it, 1 second. I'm just finding it now. They tell you which coil to use for restricted direct long and mouse to long. It's very interesting. So like this, you get all the configurations with the coil. For instance, mouse to long, 0.8 to 1.2. You see it yourself now. You can read it through, freeze the screen, and it even tells you your nicotine strengths if you want. So I thought this is very useful, something to have. And yeah, so that is interesting. You can see what coils you want to use, what mouse to long, restricted direct long. I suppose it's your choice, whatever you want to do. I've got in here mouse to long, and I'm direct to longing it on 9 milligrams. So it's my choice. But they're telling you what they think is right for it. And now I'm going to show you another photo of the blowout of the tank. So like this, you can see it all in pieces, but you've seen it already in the close-up. I just thought it's nice to have a look at. Yep, so like this, you have all the information in hand. Specifications, I'll put everything below. Also the unique airflow features and the specifications that we spoke about in any case. And what they say is almost completely leak-proof due to the top AFC, okay? But I'm surprised, well, I'm not surprised, I'm happy to say that a lot of times, even though it's anti-leak-proof, but sometimes you get gurgling. Yeah, so it's anti-gurgling. I didn't have no problems with gurgling either, and there's no juice flow here to worry about. When you add the juice, there's no problem. It won't cause you any gurgling. I'll put everything as below, so you have all the information. Yep, so this was my review on the OXVA Arbiter mouse to long restricted direct long tank in one RTA. Yep, very nice indeed. I like these tanks. They've got something different and unique to them. Okay, this was the review. I hope it was helpful. Until the next review or live chat, most probably live chat will be hopefully next week. This week I don't have time, but until I hope next week. Until the next time, take care, enjoy your vape. Bye bye for now.